signed a record-breaking $60 million a year deal. They showed him all of the money. Chase, you played quarterback for a long time, but just as impressively, you played quarterback behind quarterbacks that played the game for a longer time.
Well, I never got to play.
Drew Brees, you played behind him. He played forever. Alex Smith, you played behind him. Obviously, he traversed through plenty of injuries. He played for a mighty long time. You know the quarterback position better than anybody on television. Are Dak Prescott's best days behind him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, he finished second in MVP voting last season.
Yes, sir.
And he had a run game. And he had multiple offensive players. That offensive line was really good. You look at this year, man, he's got zero run game. Like that's really what I want to focus on, because you can't tell me right now that if Jerry Jones would have signed back offensive linemen, they let offensive linemen walk.
They did.
They had rookies come in and be like, hey, it's just going to be all right. The calling card of the Dallas Cowboys team has always been offensive line. They've drafted offensive linemen in the first round for a long time. Protect your quarterback. I know Dak's been hurt, yada, 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 but you can't tell me if he didn't sign Derrick Henry that he's not a different player. If they don't sign a number 2 receiver, that he's not a different player. Like, I think you got to pause on the offseason, right, and figure out a best way to put your best players around Dak, because you're paying Dak like the best player in NFL history.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you don't put the pieces around the best player in NFL history, I don't care who you are. There's like 2 quarterbacks that can carry a team: Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, maybe 3, that can just like forget about the weapons around. You know what I mean? Like, we need that. So for me, it's this year he's been pressing, man, because he doesn't have a run game, because he doesn't have a number 2 receiver. He's trying to fit balls in windows that don't exist. He's not playing the game the right way. So I think this is actually a good thing for him to just take these 9 games off, because he's getting surgery. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. So I don't think his best days are behind him at all.
Now, Chase, man, we was like this, right? And then as the show went on, we started getting closer. And then now it's like this. No, we live with this. Right? All right, maybe might be this Dallas topic. I want to ask you some things, Chase. I want to talk to you for a second, right? I know it's forwards, but I want to talk to Chase for a second, because he played by a lot of quarterbacks. So he knows.
He knows.
Sorry. So I'm going to say I think Dak's best days are behind him, like way behind him.
Way. Even last year?
So in 2021, right? Dak had 37 touchdowns.
He did.
Right? And Dak did have 4,400 yards. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And he was still running.
Really good.
Running around, yeah.
You know they lost in the wild card. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let's not trip. Let's not trip, right? Things happen.
37 touchdowns lost.
So then last year, though, because you said something about not having a running game and all this other stuff, well, he had a Pro Bowl running back last year, right? And he had an All-Pro CD Lamb. And then, I don't know what y'all think about this, but he did have Brandon Cooks, who's been really, really good everywhere he's been at, but Dallas. I don't know what that is, but it is what it is. Defense is really, really strong.
Yes,
Michael Parsons got getting sacks, etc., picks. You know what? You name it. My thing is, you lost in the first round to the youngest team in the playoffs, the Packers. So when we talk about the better days behind him, what's he giving you? Right? So
Really
we might
good
talk
regular
about
season.
That's what I'm saying. So when I'm paying a quarterback $60 million, like you talked about, what are you giving me?
Want to win playoffs.
Couple wins? Because last year you was second in MVP voting, and you got us nowhere.
I would argue.
And you had everything, running game and everything. So, like, my thing is, when I look at the Cowboys, this is not a quarterback that plays for Jacksonville or plays for the Browns. You play for the Dallas Cowboys, and we need championships. And if you can't give us championships, give us some playoff wins. Something to sell the team on. And he hasn't given you that. So my thing is, you give him all this money for what? Because he's not going to give you no wins in the playoffs. He's not going to do that. So the better days for him is over with.
I'm with Chase on this one. I think his better days are in front of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think his better days are in front of him.
Don't worry about the numbers of wins.
I think this season was really good for the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. And I'm not talking about the injury, because I want 0 players to get hurt in the National Football League. We all played in the game. We know how hard it is to stay healthy. So I don't want nobody to get hurt. But you realize that Dak Prescott is not a guy that can carry a team. He's not a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes, because we all believe those are the only 3 that
like elite
nothing can make, you know what I'm saying, with 1 lemon can make a whole jug of lemonade. Right? That's not Dak Prescott, right? He needs weapons around him. You see that now. So now you go build and you put weapons around him. You got CeeDee Lamb, great player. Get him a running game. Get him a number 2 wide receiver, a good number 2 wide receiver. You have a good tight end, and put a good solid offensive line in front of him and a good defense. We found out this year that Dak Prescott is one of those quarterbacks that needs a bunch of weapons around him. And with a bunch of weapons around him, he can put up those all-pro numbers like he did last year. That's why I think this is good for the Dallas Cowboys, because you learned that we can't be cheap no more in free agency, because Dak Prescott cannot cover up some of these woes that we have in our roster. He cannot do that. So now you got to go build a roster, and I think Dak Prescott's best days are in front of him with the right amount of talent around him.
Great take. Great take, brother. Right, great, and nice sweater.
And the only way to go is up, Shady.
All I'm saying is this, though. So that's true.
Yeah.
But we gave you that. We gave you a strong defense that scored a lot of points. We gave you a defense that get picks and they get turnovers. They get sacks.
Yeah.
They gave you on defense. Offense. We give you CeeDee Lamb. We give you a running back in Pollard, Pro Bowl guy. We give you a solid offensive line, right? We give you a number 2, Brandon Cooks is good everywhere else. We give you that. Because you asked for it, right? He asked for this?
I did.
We gave it to you. What did you give us?
A
first-round exit to the youngest inexperienced team in the playoffs,
but one of those years...
And got blew out.
But one of those years, I gave you 12 wins and a playoff win, too.
That's all we going to get, James?
No, but what I'm saying is...
You hear what I'm saying? You asked for that, and we give it to you, and you talking about...
But what I'm saying is it's not too many quarterbacks just walking into these playoffs winning neither, though. You know what I'm saying?
But you said, if you give us this, James, we going to get all this other great stuff.
But I'm not saying that you give him this, he's just going to take you to the Super Bowl. It's not just a lot of people just walking into the Super Bowl.
I'll let you go, because I'm confused.
Here's
Who's just walking into the Super Bowl? The Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens is not...
You said that it's only 3 elite quarterbacks that could take you to the promised land.
With
nothing, right? Cool. We give you a lot on offense and defense, all pros everywhere.
Yes.
And you still don't deliver. And not
I don't deliver a Super Bowl.
No. An NFC Championship game, appearance. Just go there, James. Just be there. Smell it. Smell what it smells like. You're not even doing that. You getting the first round exit? And you up and sit up and defend us, though?
But what I'm saying is every year is not going to be like that.
But no year's been like that, you could suggest. Because the reason I think Dak Prescott's best days are behind him, again, I lived in Dallas. Chase, you grew up in Dallas. You were born in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Think about how long it took for the Cowboys to build what they build. You draft Tyron Smith in 2011. You draft Travis Frederick in 2013. You draft Zach Martin in 2014. You draft Ezekiel Elliott in 2016. You hit. I mean, 3 of those linemen you could suggest would go into the Hall of Fame if Travis Frederick didn't get injured. Zach Martin going in, Tyron Smith going in. So think about how long it takes to build what the Cowboys built. So by the time Dak got into the league in 2016, Tyron Smith was on year 5, Zach Martin was on year 4, Travis Frederick was on year 3. That's already been built. That's going to take a long time to build up again for the Dallas Cowboys. That's my first thing.
It's not like their roster is, you got to build a roster up from the rock.
I think offensively, it's going to be hard to find another Ezekiel Elliott. The reason
being,
being,
find another Ezekiel Elliott. Just find a run game that's competent. They're the worst Cowboys rushing game in the history.
Okay, fine. So you have a competent run game.
Yes.
It's going to be hard to find another Tyron Smith. Tyler Smith is doing well, but to find another Tyron Smith is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to find another Zach Martin. They don't just grow on trees. Shout out to Cooper Beebe for what he's done. It's going to be hard to find another Travis Frederick. Like, these were guys that were great, that were built up over the course of years. They hit. We're talking Hall of Famers. We're talking Cowboys Ring of Honor guys. To me, that's going to be hard, but doesn't tell the whole story. Y'all know your careers are over when you start to get injured more frequently and by lesser degrees of exertion causes an injury. Dak Prescott has missed more games than any other quarterback due to injury over the last 5 years. The leg in 2020, then the calf, I believe, based on the kinetic chain, was because of the leg, then the thumb after that, and now a hamstring. But it's not just the injuries. Think about how the injuries are recurring. The leg, he broke it. That is an extremely unfortunate contact injury, obviously. Remember the calf. The calf was like, wait, how'd that happen? Now remember the hamstring. Like, these to me are degrees of your body is no longer what your body was, and nor should it be. Dak Prescott's going to be 32 in July, nor should it be. But 32 at the quarterback spot, don't let it fool you. Tom Brady made us think 32 is nothing. Matthew Stafford has made us think 32 is nothing. Aaron Rodgers has made us think 32 is nothing. Russell Wilson can suggest 32 is nothing. Stafford, Super Bowl. Russ, Super Bowl. Tom Brady, Super Bowl. Rodgers, Super Bowl. All these quarterbacks aren't just guys. They prove to be like superhuman guys. So I can't let Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers deceive me into thinking 32 is nothing. Look at a human like Kirk Cousins. 32 is something. So especially something when you're getting hurt more often than you're not. I can't look at his injury history, nor can I look at what the Cowboys do to build and say, oh, he's got great future ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to nerd out a little bit because 32 is what Tom House, Tom House is the quarterback guru who has worked with Drew Brees and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, okay? This guy, he not only works on your quarterback mechanics, he works on your kinetic chain. He works on getting more power out of your arm. He works on playing longer. He works on your arm strength. And it's very, he used to be a famous USC baseball coach. He worked with Nolan Ryan as well. And so these guys go to him to prolong his career. He's got years and years and years of study based on everything that he's put together. And he would say, and because I've worked with him personally, it didn't really help. But I've worked with him personally. He would say that a quarterback's prime, in good shape, right, would be let me just say, a quarterback's prime in shape would be 32 to 38 years old. So technically, according to him, and he is like the guys, Hall of Fame guys go to. Dak's just now entering his prime. You know the warm-ups that Dak does? He works with Tom House. Yep.
Now, let me ask you this.
And so for me, like, that's what I'm saying. I get with Shady. Like, I don't know if he's ever, unless he's around a good team, going to go to playoffs. But, like, stat-wise, win-wise, he can still play at a high level.
But you said this. He said a quarterback's prime, the sentence after was in good shape.
Yeah.
I can't suggest it coming off of a hamstring, being torn off of the bone. Just a hammy, but being torn off of the bone, having surgery, I don't know if I can suggest that fits the criteria of in good shape. Hamstrings don't need surgery. James, you talked about it. That's why you got in trouble, if you will, by saying, no, because you know hamstrings. You know hamstrings, I know hamstrings, Shay know hamstrings. We don't know this hamstring. Right. I've never had to have surgery. I tore my quad third degree. It didn't need surgery. I still got the issues with scar tissue when I try to run or try to swim. It didn't need surgery. So what I'm suggesting is name an above-average quarterback who had a peak in his career after 33.
And real quick, all the dudes you talking about, they are runners. They are runners. They're not runners. Yeah. Talk about Drew Brees. Talk about Philip Rivers. Talk about Tom Brady.
Dak ain't been a runner in a long time, neither though.
But that's the point. I think that was most dominant when he was running a little bit. Just enough. He's averaging like 7 yards a attempt now. Like that's terrible.
So my thing is, you guys are saying the better days are behind him.
Yes, sir.
So coming off this injury, what do you think like his ceiling is, like stats-wise? What do you think Dak Prescott could like deliver?
Probably
because he's fresh off of an All-Pro year, second in MVP.
Second in MVP.
I think probably mid to low 30 touchdowns passing and the same, anywhere from.
That's freaking good.
So that's all I'm saying. If his ceiling is that, from standing in the pocket, throwing the football, I know we all want to see, and we cannot get out of our heads how he's looked in the playoffs. Me too. But at the same time, Dak Prescott is still a really good quarterback. With the right pieces around him, he still can play at a really high level.
Agreed. Not saying that.
So that's what I'm saying. So better days
will he have better days? You feel me? I'm not saying he can't still play at a high level, but I'm saying, like, remember, Dak is thrown. I don't know if I see Dak throwing for 40 touchdown passes, because that would be a better day.
Who is, though? Not a lot of people nowadays.
He has 11 touchdowns in 8 games this year, though.
I understand. And he's been playing weak this year.
This is one other thing. Y'all keep talking about all this extra help. I hate when I keep hearing that. You making $60 million a year, dog.
But he showed you he's not that dude, though, Shady.
Hold on for a second, though. So one thing is, 11 touchdowns in 8 games, that's not good.
That's not good.
Okay, it's not good, right? Another thing is, you keep talking all this extra help. You've had a lot of help, Dak, and the best you got me was a loss in the playoffs the first round. So when we talk about the better days.
He's won some playoff games, though.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yes.
With 2?
But same as Lamar Jackson. We talk about Lamar as an all-world beater.
But we all don't think that the best days are behind Lamar Jackson, right? Yeah. We think Lamar Jackson's best days is coming up. But I look at Dak, like, my thing is, for him to be on my team, yes, you have to have so much. And even when you have so much, that still is not good enough. I don't know why y'all can't see that. Yeah. You talk about the MVP being second runner-up. That's good. What did that get us? Yeah. We keep talking about only on the offense. Do you know on the defense they were like the most scoring defense? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. So everything you need, running game, wide receivers, great defense, you have all that. And you give me a first-round exit, how does it get better than that, James? Because I'll tell you what, the Cowboys will not have a better roster than they had last year. Yeah. You will never see that again.
And everybody laid an egg in the playoffs, though, Shady.
This block is about the Cowboys,
I know, but you bringing up all the defensive players and all that.
And we in court, we haven't.
You bringing up.
And he talking about all these other
You saying he got the defense and all this type stuff and the defense handling the business. You bringing up the defense. Everybody laid a leg last year. Dak Prescott is weak in the playoffs. We understand that.
You said he needs more roster. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going back to data on when they had great rosters. And when I look at the rosters, he needs more than that because You had all these all-pros on offense and on defense, and that wasn't enough. So when you ask me, is this better days behind me? I'm thinking, how can it not be?
But all I'm saying is with those rosters, Shady, he played at an elite level.
Do you think, James, it'll get...
He played at an elite level.
Do you think the rosters will get back to that level? You think the Cowboys can get back to a 9?
I don't know if a 9
Not if Jerry Jones handles it like he did this year.
No. 9 All-Pros is very hard to do. I'm not saying they're going to get back to a 9 All-Pro, but they can build a good roster. You have pieces to build around. You have Michael on the defense to build around. You have Dak and CD on the offense to build around. It's not like you need 100 pieces. Lamar Jackson has had a lot of success in his career. He's been on some really, really, really good football teams. Really good football teams. Right? And he has the same amount of playoff wins, and we're saying his days is in front of him. And I agree with that, too. But what I'm saying is he's off of an all-pro year. He can play the game at a high level still with good pieces around him. Does that mean Super Bowl? No. It don't mean Super Bowl, but it don't mean he's going to go out here and look bad and lay an egg off of coming off of an injury.
Tell you what, bro. I need these same type of excuses for me. If I'm doing bad on TV, I need all y'all to be. This is crazy, though.
I got you. You're my brother.
Terrible, man. Hey, we got the biggest matchup of the weekend, and it's tomorrow. Talk about Christmas coming early. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.